Am I seeing my own things? Did you see what I just saw? Did I just see William Ruto drove all the way to Gatondo to see the disgusting, to see the war criminal, to see the genocidal prick called Uhuru Kenyatta? The head of the Kenyatta family criminal enterprise. We are going through the current mess because of Uhuru, because Uhuru left the country with 9 trillion in debt, which nobody can show you what it did. Let me give you an example. If Rironi and Mau Summit was to be converted into a super highway, that whole cost would be 180 billion. If Mombasa Road was to be turned into a super highway, that whole cost would be 300 billion. I'm telling you figures that you can Google yourself right now. So with 480 billion, we could have at least seen 2 super highways during Uhuru Kenyatta's tenure. What do we have? We have concessional projects. We have the expressway, which we have to pay through tolls. We have the SGR, which we have to pay through tolls. So none of the 9 trillion that Uhuru left us paying, that Uhuru left us suffering, we are being overtaxed because of Uhuru. None of that money came from the 9 trillion that is in debt. And do you know where the majority of these loans are coming from? They are coming from commercial banks. It is domestic borrowing. What does domestic borrowing do? It discards. It forbids you and me from accessing cheap loans from the banks because they are charging us between 18% and 13%. Our predatory and cannibalistic banks. So, what business would Ruto have to go see to see Uhuru? It is desperation because these two people are joined together through the blood they shed, through the people they killed in the 2007-2008 post-election violence. I've seen a message there from Uhuru Kenyatta saying that, he was advising Ruto to follow I don't know what, to stop attacking critics, to stop doing what. But Uhuru is the biggest perpetrator of the same vices that he's purporting to caution Ruto against. He's the biggest asshole. He's the biggest thief. What value does he have to add to anyone's government, let alone the genocidal baboon called William Ruto? What value does he have? This is desperation. And it shows you that what they say all the time, they try to glamorize it, that the only thing that is common, the only thing that is cumulative in their pursuits as politicians is their interest. You understand? They are ready to set aside their differences because of the greater interest, their personal interest, their business interest. So it's never about us. We are on our own. We have always been our own. So when you're there championing, shouting about this politician, that politician, know that when shit hits a fan, you understand? When all is said and done, when they sit down, they will talk about their own interests. They worry about their children, their grandchildren, their bank accounts. They want to secure their Cayman accounts, their Virgin Islands accounts. You understand? That's all they care. Their Jersey and Guernsey accounts where they've been hiding our money. Uhuru Kenyatta is the biggest thug. What value would he have to Ruto? It's because they are united. Both of them are birds of the same feather. When it comes to killing people, they would gladly do it as long as they secure their personal and business interests. You understand? This is an example I'm showing you. You're seeing, first of all, it was Raila. Raila set aside. He was using people, his own protesters. They did maandamano. They died. People even from 2017 called Baby Pendo died, and then he still did a handshake with Uhuru, the person whom he had insulted all throughout 2013 to 2017. So politicians don't give a shit about you. Politicians don't care about you. We are on our own. So the next time you're told to go for maandamano, you go. Don't wait for a politician to tell you. Don't wait for anyone to tell you. It's our fight. It's our battle. This is our survival. If we don't rise to the occasion, these people are going to finish us. Uhuru and Ruto, it has been the worst combination in Kenyan history. If you look at the debt, if you look at the stalled project, if you look at the corruption, if you look at the deteriorating state of human rights, you understand? Uhuru there is saying that he has advised Ruto against arresting and antagonizing and persecuting critics, which is what Ruto has been doing at the Milimani law courts with select clique of judges. They get select magistrates who are going now to impose to us. They take our passports. They take our gadgets. They raid our homes. All of these came from laws. The cyber crimes laws was passed in 2018 by who? By Uhuru Kenyatta. So Ruto is only operationalizing laws that were passed by Uhuru Kenyatta, and then they get friendly judges who they can bribe to pass judgments in their favor. And then you have another idiot there, another thug, a corrupt Supreme Court judge called Isaac Lenaola. He's coming to gaslight us. He's coming to gaslight us that we do hashtags. Kenyans on social media, since when are you to be controlled? Are you to be tooled by outsiders? We have our own ecosystem that is free of meddling and interference from these characters. The Supreme Court judges have been the stumbling block in our attainment of universal goals of human rights, equality, justice. The Supreme Court has been the biggest hindrance, the biggest roadblock. How then can a Supreme Court judge come to tell us to push hashtags or the constitution of IEBC? Let me give you a better opinion. Let me give you a better idea. Why don't we get rid of Ruto? We get rid of Ruto and we constitute IEBC, in the fashion that we want. We don't need Ruto to do it. He's not the one with the monopoly of implementing or whatever constituting IEBC. We have the tools. We have the power. In Kenya, the people, they retain the sovereign power. You understand? So you have to believe in yourself. You have to understand that we are on our own. You have to get it in your heads that these politicians will gladly shove you aside, will gladly throw us under the bus when a deal is put forward on the table. Ruto is desperate to go and look for Uhuru. These people never spoke during the entire period of COVID. They were angry. They were fighting. But now they can be able to set aside those differences that started in 2019. They can be able to set them aside so that they can shaft us, so that their business interests can prosper. You understand? And the hints were there. You just were blind enough not to see them. You understand? You should have seen the NCBA CEO. He's called Gachagua. He was saying rubbish. And I gave him a warning. I told him, you talk that rubbish again. We know where you live, my friend. He was there saying the economy is booming. It is booming because NCBA is one of the banks that has lent money to government. The money that we are paying, framed as domestic debt, which was not used for anything, we are paying extortionate interest rates because of a couple of banks. One of them is NCBA. One of them is Equity. One of them is KCB. Kenyans, the first phase of your revolution should have been to boycott these banks, to remove your money from these banks. You understand? So Uhuru, the MD of NCBA had started doing forums with David Ndi and saying that the government is because they are lending money to government, money that they should be lending to you as individuals, to us as entrepreneurs, so that we can expand our businesses. Now they are giving it to government because they are assured that they are going to get their money back from government. What are you doing banking with those extortionists? What are you doing? Remove your money from those banks. Withdraw your money from those banks because you are feeding the very monster that is consuming you. You saw this last weekend, Chepsaita Marathon or Chepsaita Cross Country, which the patron is Farouk Kibet, who was one of the sponsors. It was Brookside Dairy. What business do you have drinking Brookside milk? Are you crazy? Are you mad? You are enabling your oppressors. You are enabling the people who have put us in the situation that we are in today. That they can go and meet without any honor or shame. That Uhuru is there purporting that he was advising Ruto. What rubbish. Unatupeleka aje wewe Uhuru. You think everyone is stupid. You think this is those COVID days when you had us by the chokehold, when you had us censored and you were speaking through your propagandists. Uhuru, we are tired of you even more than Ruto. We are here because of you. We are here. We are suffering because of you, Uhuru Kenyatta. You're shameless son of a poacher. The behaviors that were genetically transferred to you from your fact in the head father, from your poaching mother. You're now entrenching them, that you think now you're going to join together with Ruto. Let me tell you, we are going to get rid of Ruto. We are going to march to State House. We are going to come for you, Uhuru Kenyatta. We are going to come for your businesses. Because who the fuck are you trying to insult the intelligence? We are here because of you. You borrowed money. You cannot show us what you did with that money. All that money came from commercial banks. That money came from domestic borrowing. There is a capital deficit. There is a cash flow deficit in the country because of you. None of your tenders was successful. None of your roads, the roads were countrywide. Our power bills went high because of you. And you have no audacity. No, you have the audacity to even come and say, I was lecturing, I was advising Ruto to follow the law or to what? No, we know we know it's in your best interest for us to be curtailed. We know that Ruto's presidency has served your business interests more than anyone else. We know you're happy when the rest of us are suffering. You locked us down during COVID. You ensured that we cannot earn. All our jobs went because of COVID, because of a lockdown, a misguided lockdown. And then you're there. You think that now you're going to pass those strategies, that now you're going to bring Kagwe. To try and lock us down. We are going to get rid of all of you. And it's good. It's good that you have unveiled yourselves. It's good that we are getting rid of Raila. It's good that we are getting rid of Ruto. It's good that we are getting rid of Uhuru. All of you oligarchs, you have taken us down the drain. You are still not tired. You want to milk us even at our very most vulnerable. And you think that we are stupid enough. You think that we are going to take this lying down. Uhuru Kenyatta! You disgust me. You are the person who has caused us all this grief and pain and consternation. And then you're still trying to make political moves. Other presidents around the continent are retiring. You are still trying to make political moves. You want to extend our oppression. You want to continue it because you derive narcissistic pain and joy in seeing mass suffering. That's what you derive pleasure on. Let me tell you, Bwana Uhuru, I think you no longer have your finger in the pulse of the nation. You don't know the heightened state of civic awareness that we have. You have no clue. You think that now because you're there, you think that you are the kingpin of Mount Kenya. You think that you can transfer any imaginary goodwill that you have to this lunatic, to this despotic war criminal, to the genocidal baboon called William Ruto. You think. You got it wrong, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. Na umetubeba ujinga for far too long. Uhuru Kenyatta, wewe. You and the Kenyatta family criminal enterprise. You left us with 9 trillion in debt. Not a single project to your name. You understand? Everything, the interest rates went skyrocketing. The electricity bills, everything, our businesses went down. Jobs. You brought Alcoblo, which is being enforced by William Ruto today, by the extortionists at the Ministry of Interior, was started by you. You made Nairobi CBD die down. Jobs have disappeared. The health sector crumbled because of you. And you think you're going to insult our intelligence? Bro, you got me fucked up.